the ego is there to protect us. In fact, by design, the ego is there to shield and soothe us so that we don't constantly feel hurt and offended. However, the ego also creates massive blind spots because the ego is the one that tells us, "Hey, this wasn't my fault that this went wrong. This was Leighton's fault. This was Ed's fault. This was Frank's fault." Because you don't want to blame yourself. But when you can kill the ego, you realize that actually that was my fault, and that doesn't make me a bad human. That just I made a bad decision, and I'm going to apologize, and I'm going to ask for forgiveness, and I'm going to ask Frank, "Hey, how can I make it up to you?" Hopefully, you'll say, "Here's how I can make it up," and I will, and then we move on. And so I think also the ego must be present, especially when we're younger, because that's when we're most ferocious. The ego allows you to take those risks and do those things. But as you get older and wiser, and you know, wisdom does not come from getting old. Wisdom comes from age plus experience. And so as I reach, I'm knocking on the door of 50 here, and I'm very excited to get into my 50s. I'm 48 now. Whenever I have wins, I go, guess what? Losing season's coming around the corner. And when I have losing seasons, I'm like, hey, guess what? This was supposed to come to humble me as a man, because my ego is going to want to say, I'm man. I did this. I built this company. I bought that airplane. I did this, and I 250,000 for that shit. Guess what? Guess what? Losing season. In fact, right before we started this, I was telling Ed over there that I got $485,000 in BlockFi, which is frozen right now because FTX collapsed. BlockFi said you can't withdraw or contribute money right now because everyone's going to panically pull out. So guess what? As badass of an entrepreneur and investor that I am, I'm on the brink of losing $500,000 right now. And guess what? It's a losing season if it happens. The old me 10 years ago would be like, what the fuck? This can't happen. Whose fault is this? It's my fault. I made the decision to invest through BlockFi into crypto. I believe crypto is the right thing, but I should have had my money on an external hard drive versus on BlockFi. Whatever. Lesson learned. So the ego, once you can kill your ego by realizing that you're going to have winning seasons, losing seasons, and that you are not the man as you thought you were. After all, you're just a human going through your human experience. The ego is dead to me. And you truly live through the lens of consciousness. Like when I have a winning season, I'm like, whoo, that is awesome. When I have a losing season, I know I've lived long enough to know a winning season is around the corner.